first ever ACC match between Stanford and Syracuse, as we are about ready to go here from Northern California. Tim Swartz with you. Stanford is the number 5 team in the country. They're 11-2. They've gone 3-1 in the ACC. Syracuse started out the season winning 12 straight matches, but they have lost all 4 ACC matches, including getting swept at home in Central New York 25-11, 25-18, 25-14 against the Pitt Panthers, the number 1 team in the country. Stanford's coming off of a victory on Sunday afternoon. They defeated Wake Forest 25-16, 25-17, 25-12. They had just 2 hitting errors in the entire match, hitting a season best 468. Syracuse and Stanford, they had met 10 years ago at Boston College in Chestnut Hill, just twice all time, but part of the new entry to the ACC for Stanford, some new conference opponents, and the Orange take the court with Bakram Ganishwaranam, back-hitter Ganesh Ranam, who is their head coach, 3rd year, played men's volleyball at Queens College. He was born in Sri Lanka, moved to Germany when he was 5 years old. And his good friend, Kevin Hambley, the head coach of Stanford in his 8th year, 2-time national champions in 18 and 19 for the Cardinal. Elena Ogilvie to serve for the Cardinal, the libero. Stanford in the home white uniforms, and Syracuse is in the road navies with the orange numbers. 2 schools named after, with the nicknames of colors, the Cardinal and the Orange. Stanford puts it away early on as the Cardinal through the middle with Sammy Francis hitting with that kill just about 400 for the Stanford Cardinal. Cami Minor will make her 106th appearance at Stanford. She is the setter for the Cardinal. Hannah Pringle gets the start along with Lizzie Andrews. Sammy Francis, who had the first kill. Ipura Kurtz, the redshirt freshman from Istanbul, Turkey. And Taylor Yu will start for the Cardinal as well in this one. Service error against Syracuse. Orange are playing 2 liberos. Greta Schlickler is wearing number 1. She just came out of the match for number 10. Nikki Shimau, who is a 5'6" defensive specialist in libero from Honolulu, Hawaii. Serve wide from Yu. Anastasia Nikolnikova, she's the player to watch out for Syracuse, hitting .455. A junior middle from Kiev in Ukraine. Junior college transfer. It's 8th best hitting percentage in the nation. Skylar George outside in the nation. Skylar George outside hitter, 6'1" from Houston, Texas. Ava Palm, grad student from Bakersfield, California. Went to Cal State University, Bakersfield. She leads Syracuse in kills. Veronica Searsant is a 6'4" setter, sophomore from Savannah, Georgia. And then Sarah Vashakovska is the right-sided hitter, 6'1" grad student from Towson University in Maryland. She hails from Poland. Kurt serving for the Cardinal. And over on 2 for Searsant. And 20 assists against Pitt. Syracuse hosted Pitt at home at the women's building where Syracuse plays on campus in Central New York. Get ready for a lot of matchups between Syracuse and Stanford in various sports. Syracuse beat Stanford in field hockey 3-0. Of course, Stanford in their first ever ACC football game defeated Syracuse on a last-second field goal in the Carrier Dome. 4-3 Orange here in the first set. Coach Ganesh Ratnam told me before the match, his goal was to try to make things uncomfortable for Stanford, try to serve well, and he was effusive in his praise for the Cardinal setter. Cami Minor said she is about as good as anyone out there as Jordan Harvey puts it away. Jordan, along with everybody else on Stanford, had a great night against Wake Forest. 9 kills on 13 attacks. She gets 692. Sammy Francis hit .467 against the Demon Deacons in the straight set victory for the Cardinal. Put away on the right side by Nikolnikova. Side out for the Orange. Stanford hitting .224. That's 12th best. Pardon me, Syracuse .224, 12th best in the ACC. Stanford 285, second best in the ACC, and 13th best in the country when it comes to hitting percentages. 6-4 Syracuse in the first. Orange, mentioned they went 12-0 in the non-conference schedule, but they've lost to North Carolina, Duke, Pitt, and SMU in conference. They've won just one set in their 4 matches. Syracuse 3-1 thus far, Stanford beating Notre Dame as the tip is down and in for the Orange. And the only match they dropped was to Louisville last week. They swept North Carolina and Wake Forest. 7-4 Orange early. Stanford's going to use a coach's challenge there. I was right in front of our broadcast position. I thought the ball was in, but Kevin Hambley could be challenging whether that ball went over the antenna. So 7-4 early, lead for Syracuse. Last kill for the Orange's Sydney Waller. Right-sided hitter, sophomore from the Nashville, Tennessee area. Only played in 5 matches this year, didn't play last year due to injury. So West Coast swing for the Orange. They came out to the Bay Area on Wednesday, and it's 2 matches in 2 nights. They'll play Cal tomorrow at Haas Pavilion at 7. And talking to Coach back here and Syracuse staff, Bakir, I was telling him, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to leave in the morning? Or are you going to leave at night? And he said, well, right after the match, we're going to drive over to Berkeley and kind of make it a nighttime trip over either the San Mateo Bridge, Bay Bridge, Dumbarton Bridge, whatever's easiest. This time of night, probably the Dumbarton Bridge, and then go up 580. And it's 2 and 2 nights. He was mentioning how much fun it's been for his team to come out here to Northern California, and how fun it is to have a program like Stanford with the 9 national championships in the ACC. That one was in and down, point to Syracuse, so 7-4 off the top for the Orange. Stanford has missed the NCAA tournament 1 time ever. Syracuse has been to the NCAA tournament 1 time ever, back in 2018. So it is 2 very different programs. Minor sets out. Harvey couldn't put it away from the back line. Palm into the net. Well, Syracuse will set Ava Palm a lot. She got set 30 times in 3 sets against Pitt. 30 attempts, 10 kills for Palm, who played 2 years at Texas El Paso, 2 years at Bakersfield. And when Syracuse was introduced here at Maples, she got the biggest cheer. 5 serving 7. Minor, the All-American. Nice deep serve. Roll shot. Dug out. Minor sets out left. Harvey couldn't put it away. Shamau kept it alive for the Orange. Bevan, nice pass for the Cardinal. And then into the net went Syracuse. I think that was Sydney Waller who went into the net. Cami Minor back to serve. Senior setter from Redondo Beach. And 25 assists, 4 aces against Wake Forest. 2-time first-team All-American. 2-time the Pac-12 setter of the year. Of course, the Pac-12 no longer existing, and the teams from the Pac-12 going to the Big Ten, the ACC, the Big 12, and the WCC. 3 straight points. Point Stanford 7-7 here in the first. Three straight for Stanford, and surprise, surprise, it's on the serve of Minor, one of the best servers in Stanford history, not just one of the best setters. Off the block and down, the kill for Waller, who has been active early. That's her 2nd kill. First trip for Syracuse to Maples Pavilion. Men's basketball, women's basketball will come to Maples as well. Searson, Syracuse setter to the serve. And nice tip. And it's down. Jordan Harvey. Jordan has been very active early for the Cardinals. She's been at 7 attempts. That's her second kill. Harvey back to serve, had 9 kills on 13 swings against Wake. Only played 18 sets all of last year. This is her 48th set of the year, and the ace for Harvey. (9-8). Stanford leads Syracuse. And it's over hits, and the kill for the Cardinal. And no, they're going to say Stanford went into the net. So into the net against Kurtz. 9-9. Skylar George, redshirt freshman from Houston. Went to Utah last year, but did not play. So she never played against Stanford as a member of the Utes. And in the middle, Lizzie Andrew, the 6'5" freshman from Washington. Given the Wake numbers, everyone's was good, and Lizzie's was very good. She had 500 against the Demon Deacons. Ogilvie, two-time Libero of the Year in the Pac-12. Stanford joining a very challenging league in the ACC. And Syracuse was just totally out of system, and then into the nets. Point Cardinal. I mentioned Syracuse just played the #1 team in the country, Pitt. Stanford will go to Pitt. That'll be a Sunday match on ESPN, October 20th. That'll be next week. Stanford will go to SMU on Wednesday, and then Pitt on Saturday or Sunday, pardon me. Long trip for the Cardinal. Off the block, down for Syracuse. Orange are hanging here in the first, 11-10. Kolska got that kill, her first of the match. These are the liberos to serve. Schlichter, and in system. Stanford too good in system. Kurtz hitting .219 this year. Redshirted last year, puts it away. Here's Taylor Yu, Temple City, California native. She's played in all 13 matches for Stanford. Jump serve. 12 serving 10. Tight set in from Searson. Minor and Francis, the double block once, the double block twice, and punched down by Sammy Francis. Point Cardinal, 13-10. Very nice jumps from Sammy Francis. Timeout Syracuse. Connection Oprom wants to talk this one over. Cardinal up 13-10 in the first. First set here at Maples Pavilion. Stanford, a 4-game homestand. This is match number 3 in it. They beat NC State last Friday night. Wake Forest Sunday afternoon. Syracuse tonight. Boston College tomorrow. We have all the broadcasts for you here on ACC Network Extra. First ACC meeting between these two teams. First trip for Syracuse here to Northern California to face the Cardinal. There's Ava Palm. She is the big-time hitter for Syracuse. That's her first kill. Sub here for the Cardinal. Melissa Cowell comes in. Defensive specialist, freshman, to help the Cardinal receive serve here from Sarah Washakovska. Spent 3 years at Towson with the Tigers. Cardinal put it away. Point Cardinal. Another sub here for Stanford. Harvey re-enters. for Pringle. Taylor Bevan making her 79th appearance on the farm. It's been so steady for Stanford as a defensive specialist. Senior from St. Louis. Harvey tried to push it off the block. Palm is blocked. Francis and Minor there for the Cardinal. Stanford came into this match just 1.9 blocks per set, which was 16th in the ACC. Of the 18 teams that are in the ACC, again, it's going to take some getting used to. There was just 12 teams in the Pac-12, and you can see all of them. In the ACC, Stanford will play Cal twice. They will play Georgia Tech twice in terms of teams that they'll see multiple times. And there's 18 teams in the ACC. 16 serving 11. Not a great first pass. Palm tries to put it away. She's blocked again. Minor was there. Francis was there again. And a sub here as Ashley Nah comes on to help pass here for Syracuse as Vashikovska comes out. Nice roll on Bevan's serve. Searzant sets out to Palm, who struggled so far. Cross court. That might have been going out. Stanford might get a little break here. Francis up. Minor for Harvey. And the first block of the match for Syracuse. Nicole Nikolova, 6'4" junior from Kiev Crane, was right there. It's her 6th start of the year. And she went to College of Southern Idaho. She was a first-team All-JUCO American, 12 serving 17. One timeout left for Syracuse. And that was hit just a little too fat by Harvey. I don't think Stanford's going to have Aaliyah Rubin, who leads Stanford about 4 kills per set. I do not think she is dressed, looking at the Stanford bench. Palm, that's overpassed and punched down by Waller. Timeout, Stanford. Well, if you're Syracuse and you come into this match as a big-time underdog, you just kind of want Stanford to use some timeout. So Stanford's forced to use their first timeout of the match. 17-14 Cardinal in the first. Now 17-14, Syracuse holding tough with Stanford. The Orange played #1 Pitt at home last time out. They lost 25-11, 25-18, and 25-14. So none of those sets were too close against another top team here in this loaded ACC. Missed time there. Minor sets. Harvey. That was just kept up. No, it was not. It's a lift called against the Orange. So Harvey will get the kill. It's her 3rd on 11 attempts. Francis has 3 on 4 attempts. Stanford's hitting .238. Syracuse 0.45 thus far. Francis into the net. You look at the AVCA rankings. Pitt at #1 from the ACC, Louisville at 4, Stanford at 5. It is just a loaded conference. SMU at 15. Georgia Tech coming in at 20. Virginia's receiving votes. Miami's receiving votes. It's interesting going from the Pac-12 to the ACC. There's certain sports like lacrosse and field hockey, which will be significantly more difficult. There's certain sports that might be a little bit easier, just in terms of the rankings. And the volleyball, it's about the same. And maybe there are more teams in the ACC, as Harvey put it away. And maybe there's more, on paper at least, lopsided matches. But in terms of the top, I mean, they're 3 of the top 5 teams in the country are ACC teams. Minor to serve. Last time she was on her serve, Stanford went on a nice run. Syracuse dug out. Ogilvy, and nice dig by Naw. And that one is just wide from Harvey. Syracuse has done a good job at just making things difficult on Stanford. They only had 2 hitting errors that entire match against Wake Forest, and already 7 in this one. So it's a good rotation for Syracuse. Veronica Syracuse, the setter, the server. Harvey down the line. Her 5th kill. She's got 14 of the 26 Stanford attacks. Rubin not available tonight, it appears, at least for Stanford. I didn't get any type of official word, but I don't see her in a uniform. Into the net, 20-18. There are a lot of swings that are available. Harvey checks out. Pringle back in for the Cardinal. 18 serving 20. Skylar George back to serve for the Orange. Big swing. Kurtz. That's her 3rd kill on 4 attempts. And Stanford just at 222. They hit 468 last time out. 285 for the year, but they have played one of the toughest schedules in the country. It's a little off there, trying to go to the middle. Oh, nice dig by George to keep the point alive for the Orange. Palm roll shot. On the other side, Kurt couldn't put it away. Down the line, it's cut cross court by Rashakovska. Grad student, spent 3 years in Towson, Maryland at Towson. Averages about 2 kills per set. That was her 1st kill of the match. 19 serving 21. Great back set. 22-19. Stanford 3 points away. Taylor Yu serving here for the Cardinal. That one kind of sliced off of her hand. Syracuse to serve. Sarah Rashakovska. New players for the Syracuse team that did not win a match in the ACC last year. They have not won a match in the ACC since 2022. Minor back set. Francis tried to punch it through. Out left. Here's the 3rd swing. On the slide, Francis. And San Francis, 2nd team All-American last year. Averaging 2.27 kills per set, her career best. Hitting .398, her career best. Timeout by the Orange. Stanford leads 23-20 late in the 1st set. Really great crowd on hand on a Friday night in Northern California. First trip for Syracuse here to Maples Pavilion, and it's kind of hinting at it earlier, we're going to see Syracuse basketball here, and every other year we'll see Syracuse volleyball. A new opponent, part of the new conference, the ACC, 1st year for Stanford in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Back set and put away by Nikolnikova. Anastasia, 8th in the NCAA when it comes to hitting percentage. She is one of the best at putting chances away in the country. It's always hard to set those middles. But, Nikolnikova, 2 for 3 tonight with no errors. Into the net, and set point number 1 for Stanford. Sammy Francis to serve her. Latest in that long lineage of outstanding Stanford middles. Searsons on 2. That's her second kill. Now Syracuse needs 2 points on the serve of Anastasia Nikolnikova, a JUCO All-American who's made a big impact on the Hill in Central New York. Minor sets out left. Harvey puts it away. A match-high 6 kills for Jordan Harvey. Stanford takes the first, 25-22. We'll take a break and have the first set numbers and the second set here from Maples. Cardinal lead 1-0. She had 571. Taylor Yu, she got the start, had 2 kills on 2 attacks. It was a tighter set because Stanford had 5 service errors. So they just kind of gave Syracuse 5 points. They had 1 ace. 3 ones in terms of blocks. Diggs even at 9. 2 blocks for Minor, 2 blocks for Francis. The leaders for the Cardinal. Syracuse paced by 3 kills from Sydney Waller. Anastasia Nikolnikova and 2 kills on 3 attempts. And the setter for Syracuse, Veronica Searsons, had 2 kills on 2 attempts. Maybe like the first point of the match was over on 2, and then again later on in the first set of play. Skylar George back to serve. Went to Stratford High School in Houston, Texas, if that sounds familiar. If you're a Stanford fan, that was the high school of Andrew Luck. And of course, his sister, Mary Ellen Luck, who is a great Stanford volleyball player. Point Stanford. You see you, 3 for 3. I was not a math major. I actually went to Syracuse. It's pretty cool to see them out here, but I was not a math major when I went to school in Central New York, but that's hitting 1,000. Sydney Moore put it away in the middle. She's from another great high school in Stanford football lore, Cathedral Catholic High School in San Diego. She actually started her high school in New Jersey, then finished up at Cathedral Catholic in San Diego, and that was Tyler Gaffney, who is the Pac-12's rushing leader and one of the all-time great running backs in Stanford history. Down the line, put away by Kurt. Kurt with 4 kills on 7 attempts for Ipar Kurt from Istanbul, Turkey. Redshirted last year and has been a big part of Stanford this season, hitting 219, 2.85 kills per set. Don't miss out on that 100. And Sammy Francis from the middle. 5th kill for Sammy. Francis, all Pac-12 last year, hitting just about 400, and that percentage is going up. 625 tonight. Great first pass. Back set. Francis just punches it, and she kind of rolls her eyes and closes her eyes and kind of laughs and said, that might be my kind of weirdest kill of the year. You can see her head right there can bob a little bit back. When things are going well, they're going well. 4-1 Cardinal. And Francis and Minor have had a mean block in the middle. Oh, great dig. Set up by Kurt. Minor playing the role of hitter for a moment. Shoved over. Minor keeps it alive. Kurt just couldn't get it over the net. Point Orange, 4-2. Stanford, that's one of those points that you lose, but I think Coach Hambley would be happy with the effort. Kevin Hambley, 182-39 at Stanford, an 829 win percentage. He was hired in January of 2017 and guided Stanford to national championships in 18 and 19. Minor out, Kurt gets a solo block. Searson just punches it back over. Francis is blocked at the net. Oh, that fired up the Orange. Stanford 4, Syracuse 3. Brick Beatty, the head official, Mandy Jukes, the down official, Wendy Daly and Donald Taryn are the two lines people. Low and into the net. Service there against the Orange. Here's this rotation for Stanford. Harvey replaces Pringle, and then officially Kurt is replaced by Taylor Bevan. Oh, and Bevan was on the floor in the first set. Stanford did pretty well in terms of their rotations. That was not a great first pass, and the service return not great from Syracuse. Minor over on 2. Now, Cami Minor's name is all over the Stanford record books. Came into this match with 4,834 assists. She's got 19 tonight. It's 6th most in Stanford history. Double block. Harvey, nope, that was blocked on the Stanford side, so point to Syracuse. Harvey and Francis for a moment there thought they had the block. But Cami, 3rd all-time in assists per set, 6th in total assists, and 6th in hitting percentage. 4 serving 6, deep serve. This is a great set, wow. Cami Minor, that was not an easy set deep into the net. And Jordan Harvey puts it away from the left side. Harvey hit a career best 692 against Wake from Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City used to be a long trip for Stanford. Now, that is like maybe a 1/6 of the way to Syracuse. Kolnikova, Ukrainian server for the Orange, and the kill as Syracuse is hanging tough in the second set as well. I mentioned earlier they played #1 pit and they only got to 11, 18, and 14 in their sweep. So they weren't too competitive with the Panthers, but a much more competitive match tonight against #5 Stanford. Andrew puts it away on the slide. Point Stanford. Cardinals took the first 25-22. It was 7-4 out of the shoots in favor of Syracuse in the first set. Then Stanford pretty much had the control of that first set, even though it ended up 25-22. There's an easy kill for Andrew again. And she's got 3 kills. This second set, Syracuse had it at 7-6, and you think Ganesh Aratnam, the head coach of Syracuse, might be thinking about a timeout if Stanford can win this point. Searson, nice set out back for Waller, who gets credit for the kill. Sydney Waller from Franklin, Tennessee, double major, the Whitman School of Management, and the Newhouse School for Public Relations. It's been a big addition for Syracuse. She didn't play last year because of injury. 7 serving 9. Minor into the middle. Yes. Kind of a different spot for Taylor Yu right there. And Leah Rubin is unavailable for Stanford. I'm just making that assumption. I was given no official word, but she is not dressed for the Cardinal. And that is 3.98 kills, 4th most in the ACC per set that the Cardinal have to make up. Hit over free. Kurt, the kill. That's her 5th. 6 for Sammy Francis in the middle. 7 for Harvey. Those are your kill leaders for Stanford. Sydney Waller with 4, the leader for Syracuse. 11 serving 7. Waller sends it over and through the block. That's why you hit that one with a little bit of pace. George checks back in for the Orange. Mentioned she just redshirted last year for Utah, didn't play for the Utes. Has 18 aces this year, second most for Syracuse to Palm, who has 22. It's deep, service error. Back here, Ganesh Ratnam, who's born in Sri Lanka, the head coach of Syracuse, moved to Germany at 5. Was 11 years the head coach at Temple. It's his 3rd year on the Hill. Syracuse University is on a hill in central New York. Talking to him before the match, he said the main goal for him this year is a match like tonight. They want to be competitive, they want to be in it, they want to fight against Stanford, and those middle to lower tier ACC teams are the teams that he would really like to get some more success against. As Syracuse last year did not win an ACC match, and through now 4 matches in 1 set, they have just 1 set won. They're trying to be more competitive in a very difficult volleyball conference. Minor, back set, cross court, cut down, Taylor Yu. Point, Stanford, and they're starting to run away with the second, up 14-8. Coach Ganesh Ratnam. Good friends with Kevin Hambly. They've known each other a long time, he was telling me. It was great to see him. Had a nice embrace before the match. Kurt couldn't put it away. Searson, back set. Big swing from Vashakovska. Stanford keeps it alive. Minor this time. Sets the middle, a little off with Francis. Out left, Palm. Longest point of the match so far. Kurt puts it away to end the long point. Media timeout, 15-8. Stanford in the second. Now Stanford upset and in control in the second. 15-8, Tim Swartz with you tonight. As Cardinal will face Boston College. It's the Northeast teams, the 2 most Northeast schools in the ACC. Every other year they'll come here to Northern California and they'll have the Stanford-Cal double. Syracuse plays Cal tomorrow night at Haas, a night match. And then next year, Stanford will go to Syracuse and Boston College. Isaiah Harris-Waddy comes in for the first time for Syracuse. As Coach Ganesh Ratnam did not like what he saw. This team really fought in the first set, but it is turned into a boat race here in the second, 17-8. Stanford very much in control in this set. Stanford hitting 455 in the set and 339 in the match. Stanford in the first was just 265, so they have turned it up here in the second set, and they are looking like the number 5 team in the country against the Syracuse team that has not won an ACC match in about 2 years. Minor, back set. Roll shot, put away, nice by Taylor Yu. Now, Taylor Yu, part of a very talented freshman class coming on the farm, and her and the Cardinal are in cruise control. 18-8 in the second, up a set. 18-8, Stanford leads Syracuse. By the way, I was saying Aaliyah Rubin isn't dressed. She is dressed, but she hasn't played yet. So I just wanted to clean that up. 7-0 run by Stanford right here. So Rubin, the Stanford leader in terms of kills, is behind the server. She's dancing, but she is unavailable, at least so far. Minor, what a great set. That is hard to do. Kind of contorting her body, and free ball sent over by Palm. Minor much more in system here. Kurt against the solo block, puts it away over Vashakovska. 8 straight points for Stanford. 19-8 in the second. Cardinal hitting .462 in the set. Syracuse at 150. Ooh, that one just couldn't get that one more revolution to get over the net. The first set was pretty competitive. The second set has not been. So it's originally back there when Vashakovska, but it's going to be Schletter, bioengineering major. He's played for German youth national teams. Kurt, sure she's faced off with Schlettner, who is playing for Germany. Kurt for Turkey in various levels. Syracuse with the kill. That was Ava Palm, grad student from Bakersfield. Is top 10 in the ACC in terms of points and kills per set. Syracuse has gone to her quite a bit. The Orange were undefeated in their non-conference schedule, but they're winless in their ACC schedule. 12-0 and 0-4, respectively. A couple points in a row for Syracuse. Stanford number 5 heading into the weekend in RPI. Syracuse 145. Sammy Francis with the kill, 2011. Sammy with 7 kills thus far. Yu came into this match, her career high was 2 kills. And she has the serve, and she has been very good so far tonight. There's a double block for the Cardinal. The first block of the second set, 4th of the match. Timeout Syracuse. Taylor Yu, 6 kills on 7 attempts. A good serve there. The double block from 25-22 in the first, 21-11 so far in the second. Stanford in control here at home. Kevin Hambley looking for win 183 in his Stanford stints. He has 360 wins overall, 5 Pac-12 championships. Of course, that will be it. Syracuse in the ACC, the opponent tonight, a conference match. 3rd time these two teams have ever faced off. Last time was 19 years ago at Boston College at a tournament. Hit wide by the Cardinal. Sarah Vashakovska, grad student from Towson. She went to college, I should say, at Towson. She's from Poland. Back to serve. Syracuse, a bunch of different transfers. Skylar George from Utah, Ava Palm from Cal State Bakersfield, Nikki Shamau from Temple, Anastasia Nikolikova, a JUCO from College of Southern Idaho, Kara Zarnovitska. She has not played so far. She's a senior from the Czech Republic. She didn't play last year due to injury. He's played 6 matches this year, but she played 2 years at Florida Atlantic. Sydney Moore, grad transfer from Cornell, from Ithaca, just up the road in central New York to Syracuse, in the Ivy League of the ACC. Minor dunks it down. Looking like her dad, Harold, there, the former first-round pick and USC Trojan great who played as an opponent here at Maples. First-round NBA pick, longtime NBA star. 23 serving 13. Wide from the JUCO transfer, Nicole Nikova, College of Southern Idaho. And set point number 1 here for Stanford. They are cruising here in the second. That was mishandled. Palm, the kill leader, has to try to play setter, and George, the Utah transfer, hits it well deep. 25-13, Stanford takes the second, and they lead 2-0. We'll have the third set for you here from Maples in just a moment. 25-22, 25-13 in the second. Syracuse hit just 0-4-0 after they hit 138 in the first. Stanford up there hitting from 265 to 375. 8 kills for Kurtz. That is the leader for match. 7 for Francis, 7 for Harvey, and 6 for you. Those are your leaders for Stanford. Syracuse with 5 for Waller. That's their kill leader. Waller's hitting 444. Minor right into the net. There's a joust there for a moment. Down the line, Kurtz. Newpart Kurtz, very talented athlete and student athlete, as is everybody for Stanford. Plays the flute. Played for Fenerbahce, which is a famous club. Got a great soccer team, great volleyball team, great basketball team. The clubs in Europe, they play all the different sports. At Fenerbahce is Besiktas, maybe one of the biggest clubs in Istanbul. Sammy Francis, he hails from San Diego. And Sammy puts it away. Came into this match at 398. That was the best number for Stanford. And tonight, she has 8 kills on 14 attempts, just 1 error. So she's hitting 500. Cardinals send it over free. Rashakolska overpass, and the Cardinal punished the mistake. Now, Syracuse played very well in the first set, and 25-22 was the score of that first. But the second set, it's kind of come apart at the seams for the Orange. They got here on Wednesday, trained yesterday, and then after this match, they'll drive to Berkeley and sleep in their new hotel in the East Bay tonight, and then they will go to Haas and play a match against the Bears tomorrow. 2 matches in 2 nights on the West Coast before they head back to Central New York on Sunday. I don't think that ball ever went over. I think that was off the net, and it doesn't matter anyway. I'll give the block to Sammy Francis. Kill Sammy Francis. Kill Sammy Francis. Block Sammy Francis. And she is 3 of the first 4 points. They give officially a block assist to Taylor Yu, who has now 2 blocks and 6 kills, 3 digs as well. In system, and the Orange put it away in the middle with one of their transfers. They have got a lot of them. That is Zahira Harris-Wadi. She is a recording entertainment and industries major in the Newhouse Communication School at Syracuse. And that one was off the head of you, but the Cardinal kept it alive. Syracuse was celebrating. They thought the point was over. It's never over with the way Stanford is fighting and clawing tonight. And what a kill there from Kurt. She gets it off the block. 5-1, Stanford in the third. Coach Takir Ganesh Ratnam is potentially talking with one of his captains, Sarah Bashakovska, about challenging here, but I think he was kind of disappointed in his team, kind of saying, well, you got to keep playing till the point's over. Stanford saved the point there, and for a moment, Syracuse was kind of celebrating. Totally out of system. Cardinal get the point. 6-1 Stanford in the third. Timeout Syracuse. Cardinal up 2-0 and cruising here in the third. Cardinal up 2-0. 4 kills on 6 attempts to start this third set for the Stanford Cardinal. Taylor Yu. It's her most extended run this year with 6 kills tonight, a career high. Their first year on the farm, and he's a big part of the future here at Stanford. Minor back set. Just never was really set up with Francis. Minor and Francis with the block. 7-1, Stanford in the third. Minor and Francis have, I think, combined now for 3 blocks. That was a low set and hitting error. So 3 errors and 1 kill for Syracuse in this third set. It's 8-1 Stanford. Again, Syracuse struggling to pass out of a Stanford serve. Off the block, Minor sets out left. Kurt, double block. Vashakovska and Nikolnikova, the 2 players with the block for Syracuse. A lot of Eastern European names. Pola Bunarowska, part of Polish junior national team. She started last match against Pitt. She's unavailable. Zakara Zarnovitska. She's a 6'2" senior from the Czech Republic, Florida Atlantic transfer. 2 kills per set. She is in, they say street clothes. It's like warm-up clothes. She doesn't have a jersey on for Syracuse. Back to serve is Sarah Bashakovska, grad student from Poland. Back set in system. Francis couldn't put it away. You don't see that often. And then a hitting error against George. Point Stanford. Here's Taylor Bevan. 79th career match for Taylor. 5'8" defensive specialist, senior from St. Louis, Missouri. And an ace. Third ace of the match for Stanford. 10-3 in the third. Syracuse has just 1 timeout left. And that time the slide works from Francis. 10th kill of the match for Sammy. Had 14 against NC State a week ago tonight. Career high was 19 against Cal back in 2021. Sent over free. Again, problems for Syracuse against this Stanford serve. And Harvey off the block gets the kill, out of bounds. Good run here for Bevan on her serve. Punched over. Ogilvy gets there again in system. Francis, no. Yes. Jordan Harvey. And Stanford is running away with this match. They won the second 25-13. The third's 12-3. We will step aside for a month 5 and Boston College at 161. Virginia Tech at 205. That's the lowest team in terms of ACC RPI. So by RPI, these are 2 of the 3 weakest teams in the ACC that come to Maples this weekend. Put away by Sammy again in the middle. 14-3. And Syracuse is out of timeouts. Searsant, the setter, tried to just kind of shove it over. Syracuse is really struggling passing out of Stanford serves right now. Palm blocked, points to the Cardinals. Cami Minor gets credit for another block. Cami is having a sensational match. 4 blocks, 33 assists, and she's got 2 kills for good measure. Syracuse hitting -150 in the set and 13 in the match. Again, Syracuse is having all types of problems with the Stanford serve. Put away. Harvey, 16-3. Stanford in the third. Felt like Bevan, because of the timeout, was on serve for like 15 minutes. That time he goes into the net. Ava Palm, the server. Minor tried to go over on 2. That did not work. And it's hit through and not down by Waller. Stanford keeps it alive. Now, Searson keeps it alive, the setter, so Syracuse totally out of whack there. Sammy Francis, again, she has been on one here in the third set. Francis has 12 kills for the match. And in the third alone, she's got 5. 17-4, 18-4. Sammy back to serve. That's a springy hitter. 12 kills, that leads everybody. Got 6 blocks as well. She has been dominant. Absolutely gunning for All-America status. Speaking of All-Americans, over on 2 from Cami Minor, the 2-time first-team All-American. 19-4. I mean, you never see a score like this in rally scoring. Just long. Good eye. Well, these 2 teams will switch places with the rivals. Boston College will come here tomorrow night, and Syracuse will go to Cal. This Bay Area swing. Charity McDowell, middle blocker, grad student from Indianapolis, Indiana. Got a swing there. There's a Notre Dame Fighting Irish player for 4 years, so she saw a lot of Syracuse. Notre Dame is in the ACC, for all sports, except for football. Of course, Stanford football is in South Bend. They'll face off with Notre Dame tomorrow, trying to pick up their 3rd win of the year. They beat Syracuse on a last-second time expired field goal in the JMA Wireless Dome. I said the Carrier Dome earlier. It was the Carrier Dome until like 2 years ago. Minor into the middle for McDowell. Left. What a dig there by Minor. Punched up by Harvey. Kept alive by Bevin. And into the net untouched. 21-5. Stanford in the 3rd. Now, Cami Minor with 21-5, she could serve out the match. Puts it into the net. Stanford had 5 service errors in the first set. That was one of the reasons why it was 25-22 in the first. Second, 25-13, and then obviously, if you're watching this one, 21-6 in the 3rd. It has been a Cardinal onslaught. Harvey's 11th kill. 22-6. Coco Kirsch in a set against Wake on Sunday. It's her 8th set appearance. She had 4 sets last year. A redshirt freshman to serve from Trabuco Canyon, 5'9", defensive specialist. Solo block. Harris Waddy started all 28 matches last year as a freshman. I said earlier, Corning Entertainment and Industries major. I've never seen that before. Put away. 23-7. Sub here for the Cardinal. With the Andrew re-enter, then she'll be replaced by the libero. Elena Ogilvie, the libero serving. (24-7) and match point here for Stanford. The Cardinal have looked very sharp tonight. Syracuse trying to keep the match alive. Double block. No, it's out. For a moment there, the Stanford fans were celebrating. And the inevitable is delayed a point or two. Harris Waddy, the server. And it's mishandled. Minor kept it alive, and it's sent over free. Oh, a bit of an overpass there, and into the net when Syracuse, Veronica Searsent, called for into the net. That'll do it. 25-22, 25-13, 25-8. A match that started out competitive. It started out tight in that first set, but Stanford took the second 25-13, and they destroyed Syracuse in the third 25-8 as the Cardinal win this one, and they improve to 4-1 in the ACC. They are 12-2 overall. Syracuse falls to 12-5 overall and 0-5 in the ACC. They are still now 2 years without a victory in conference. Cardinal led by 12 kills by Sammy Francis. Stanford as a team hit 326. The Orange hit -23. In the third set, it all came apart for Syracuse, -219 in the third. Stanford hit 345. Jordan Harvey had 11 kills. Epar Kurt had 11 kills. And those were the leaders for the Stanford Cardinal. Sydney Waller had 5 for Syracuse, 3 for Anastasia Nikolnikova, and 3 for Sarah Vashakovska, who were the leaders for Syracuse. 37 assists for Cami Miner, who put together another stellar match in the home white of Stanford and Cardinal in black trim, and 13 assists for Veronica Searson. That was the assist leader for the Syracuse Orange. Reminder, our next broadcast is tomorrow, a 7 o'clock start here from Maples Pavilion as the Boston College Eagles complete this weekend. Hope to see you in person. 1-800-GO-STANFORD for tickets at GoStanford.com for tickets. If you can't make it out in person, watch here on ACC Network Extra. But for our entire Go Stanford and ACC Network Extra crew, my name is Tim Swartz. Once again, Stanford sweeps the Orange 25-22, 25-13, and 25-8.